Oh, hello, sixth graders. Just a quick recap of what you did yesterday. You had this worksheet. Hopefully, you answered question number one. And then on this one, you had to draw one of the petroglyphs that was in the book. From this page right here, you could cycle through and see some of the different pictures. So you had to pick one. And then you had to go to that website that I gave you the link for, and each one of these clouds or bubbles, whatever you want to call it, you would put one of those four different facts in there. So today what you're doing is you are going to be looking at this green box that you can see on here. It's one you did not read yesterday. There are four parts to it. It just talks about the different time periods. So anything that here you see it says 10,000 to 8,000 BCE. That means a long time ago. So right now we are in AD. So we're say year 2000. So we go back to zero. So that's 2,000 years ago. When we get to that zero, anything before that is considered to be BC. So we're talking a long time ago. So what you need to do today is read the green here. Then you click on the red box and then it changes something different. Then purple. Then you click on the orange. When you read the orange does scroll down. I can't do it right now the way this is set up, but the orange will scroll down. So you just have to take it, use your mouse and move it because there's more words down below here. So that's why it says scroll text down here. I can't do it just because of the way it's recording right now. When you are done reading those four different color boxes, on the back of the first page down on here, you answer questions 3 and 4. Please make sure you're answering with complete sentences. You should be doing that. And then that's all you're doing for your packet today is using those four boxes, what you read in those four different colors there, to answer questions 3 and 4. And then the other thing we are going to be doing today is going over notes for chapter 1. So these are on Schoology, or not Schoology, sorry, that's what we used last year, on Google Classroom under classwork, and it says chapter 1 and 2 notes. So one thing I do want to point out before I go that at some point next week, we will be having a quiz on the state symbols. So hopefully you looked up some other state symbols, like the ones you saw in the textbook, where the state bird is the loon, the state fish is the walleye, and other things that you saw in there. And then some other ones I hope you all are able to research and look on that, like the state muffin is blueberry, the state gemstone is Lake Superior agate, the state sport is hockey, the state grain is wild rice, our state beverage is milk. So hopefully able to look at that. So we'll have a quiz next week. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to have you do quizzes next week. Still something I need to do. I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm seeing things on my wall that I thought was on the camera, so sorry about that. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to have you do quizzes and tests next year, or this year, I should say. So that's something I'm going to figure out for next week. We'll have a quiz on the state symbols. Notes for this chapter. You can see in Minnesota we do have 5 major rivers. They're listed right there in your notes, and here is a map of them. So we have the Minnesota River, which ignore the years on this map that I'm using. It doesn't mean anything. So the Minnesota River down here, you can see it starts over here, flows up, and eventually it joins the Mississippi River, which is right here. And the Mississippi River starts at Lake Itasca here, comes all the way down, forms part of the border between Wisconsin and Minnesota, and then it continues flowing all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. We also have the Red River here. What's unique about the Red River, it flows north. So the Red River's up here. And then we have the Rainy River up here, forming a border between Canada and the United States. Starting over in Wisconsin here and then coming down is the St. Croix River, and that also forms part of our border between Minnesota and Wisconsin until it joins and flows into the Mississippi River. So those are the 5 major rivers that we have. Then we have the highest point in Minnesota. It's called Eagle Mountain. And you can see here it's 2,301 feet above sea level. That is actually located on the North Shore up by Lake Superior. Our lowest point is Lake Superior. It is 602 feet above sea level. So I've been asked that you do this on your own. I'm not going to do it right now. Is Google Eagle Mountain in Minnesota, and you'll be able to see some pictures of it. And there's a plaque that's at the top. So make sure you're doing that. We do have some mountain ranges. They're not very high. Like you think mountain range, you think like the Appalachian Mountains, the Rocky Mountains. We do have some. We have the Cuyuna, Sawtooth, and Vermilion. Minnesota is unique because we have watersheds. Watershed refers to the direction in which water flows or sheds. So we have water in Minnesota that flows towards the south. We call it the Mississippi watershed. So anything that flows into the Mississippi River flows towards the Gulf of Mexico. So that's one watershed. Then we have the watershed that flows north. We call it the Arctic watershed because it's going up towards the Arctic regions of the United States, especially from the Red River, which I said earlier flows north, flowing towards Hudson Bay up in Canada. Then we have water that flows east. So some of those rivers flow into the St. Louis River, that flow into Lake Superior, which eventually can make its way east towards the Atlantic Ocean. So that's very unique. Not a lot of places have 3 different watersheds. In Minnesota, we do. So we have water flowing 3 different ways: north, south, and east. Minnesota has some nicknames. We are the land of 10,000 lakes, even though if you Google it, I asked you to do that. Now is Google, how many lakes does Minnesota actually have? And then once you do that, Google how many Alaska has, and you'll see a large difference. We are known as the Gopher State because of all the farming and gophers in the southern part of the state. The North Star State because we are one of the most northern states in the country, other than Alaska, of course. The land of sky blue waters, referring to all of our lakes, things like that. And the bread and butter state, again, going to our farming and towards our farming and things like that. Minnesota is the 12th largest state in size, which means there's 11 states larger than ours. So we have a pretty decent state. Our population is dropping. I'd have to see if that 21st largest state is accurate. These notes are a few years old, but our population is slowly dropping. Our state motto, or kind of like our slogan, is Altule du Nord, which is French, and it means Star of the North. So that's just a saying of our state. As I said earlier, we're the northernmost state of continental U.S. There's only one state farther north than us, and that is Alaska. We are bordered, so I'm going to show this map. It's not on here, but we have Wisconsin right over here. Below us is Iowa. Over here is where we find South Dakota, and up here is North Dakota. North of us is Canada. Canada does not divide their country into states. They divide their countries into provinces. There are 2 provinces that are above us. Over this corner, the northeastern corner, this would be Ontario. So that's a province of Ontario. And up here would be the province of Manitoba. So you can see it right here on these notes. We are bordered by Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Canada. The 2 provinces in Canada are Manitoba and Ontario. So that's the 2 couple pages of notes that I'm going over today. So again, remember to Google some of those things I asked you to. Eagle Mountain, see if you can find that plaque that's on Eagle Mountain. And also, what was the other thing I asked you to Google? Oh, how many lakes are in Minnesota compared to how many lakes are in Australia? So that's what I want you to Google. If you have any questions about anything, you can always email me or ask me any kind of questions like that, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you did not email me or share with me a Google Doc on Map Activity 3, make sure you are getting that done. I will be starting to update JMC soon, so make sure you are checking that for your grades to make sure you're turning in what needs to be turned in. So far, the 2 things you've had to turn in, Map Activity 3, Map Activity 4. So any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.